Obviously, it was Cole Bishop's job to lose in that instance, but I feel like we are getting close to the point where like the rubber meets the road. All right, welcome back to the Buffalo Plus channel, presented by Connors and Ferris. Mike Catalana, I am Jenna Cottrell. Dan Fates with a veteran day off. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Back in Orchard Park today, the Bills with practice getting ready for that preseason game Saturday against Tampa. A lot to cover, though, from just this afternoon in Orchard Park. Let's talk and start with Sean McDermott and his comments about the safeties.
I think we're looking for that other safety to play alongside of T-Rap.
Yeah, like, that was very honest from Sean.
And I'm proud of myself because you've spoken and Sean has spoken and I hadn't said a word yet.
Well, you had, yes.
My granddaughter told me,
be patient.
You need patience. She's 3. No, that was blunt from Sean. And look, sometimes coaches, players, I don't say get caught in a news conference, but they say something maybe they didn't want to say.
Yeah.
He wanted to say that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's wide open, I think, for that position. Now, today, the majority of the time, it was Cole Bishop out there running with the ones, but it is open because he doesn't have the time on task. He does not have the reps, and he hasn't, to be quite honest, played like a starting player. They want him in that spot. I think they know what they have in DeMar, and we know how a lot of people feel about that.
Yeah.
But let's see. Could be a rookie who gets an opportunity, even though he's a little banged up.
I mean, Jordan Hancock, yeah, you talk about him, but he had some flashes in that preseason game on Sunday night. I think for Cole Bishop, it's so frustrating because he's a second-round pick from last year, but all of the injuries, having him miss time in the spring, then miss time in the summer, it's like you drafted this dude high. He is expected to be an immediate starter. All the injuries have sidelined that, and then what you do see from him out there, it looks like he's a step behind because of that time. Sean McDermott talked about time on task and how important that is, but we talked going into this, like, would it be DeMar Hamlin starting over Cole Bishop? Obviously, it was Cole Bishop's job to lose in that instance, but I feel like we are getting close to the point where, like, the rubber meets the road.
Yeah, because there's a little bit of patience at the beginning, right? Because you're saying, guys had the snaps, let's get him out there. It's, 19 days until the season starts?
Yeah.
Like, somebody's got to be ready. So they're putting him out there. He's going to play. And I talked to Taylor Rapp about it a little bit. He's like, hey, there's guys out there. I have trust in all these guys who are playing with him. But it's got to be tough on Taylor Rapp to know who's next to him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's played with them, certainly with DeMar more.
Yeah.
But this idea of a player that, we talk about trust. Sean McDermott said it before. There is no pair of players on a roster, offense or defense, that's more important to work in cohesion together as a tandem than the two safeties.
And it's been such a non-issue for this team for so many years with Micah Hyde and Jordan Poirier. And then since then, do you think that they have done enough to address the position?
They addressed it. I'm saying is you're right. They addressed it. Second-round pick with a guy they thought would eventually lead to start. I think they thought this was going to be what it was last year. Maybe get him ready. Then he got hurt. He was okay when he was in there.
Yeah.
It was tough on him.
Yeah.
So then he had the off season, but then he gets hurt again.
Yeah.
And so the idea was he could start, right? They brought Forrest in as a backup, a guy who's been in the league. They know what they have in DeMar. And then they draft Hancock, and looks like this could be his position as safety.
Yes. Well, you even said, I don't know if you've said this on camera, but early on when you saw Jordan Hancock move, you're like, he's got a little Micah Hyde to him.
His physical movements remind me of that. Now, there's already a 23.
Tamper your expectations because Micah Hyde was...
I want to sound like one of those big network guys who says, aggregators, if you're watching Buffalo Plus, I did not say he's Micah Hyde. That's my voice. That's a little different than Dan's voice. But he does move. I think it's his movements. I don't know if this makes sense. Safeties are sort of forward pedaling, back pedaling, up and down, going to the line and back. And when I watched him, I thought, God, he moves kind of like him on the field, even though Dane Jackson's wearing the 23.
Yeah.
It'd be wild, though, for them to say, not that it couldn't happen, this young guy is going to start for this team against Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. And he is a little nicked up right now, so he's banged up.
Shoulder injury. At this point, they don't know if he'll play against
And they really
Tampa.
would want to see him get snaps out
there. Before being,
But this is a problem because
no offense, it was a major concern coming into this season.
Yeah.
That's where my frustration level is. Last year you signed Mike Edwards. He did absolutely nothing for you on the field. This year you signed Derek Forrest, who has done absolutely nothing this summer. You had Cole Bishop last season, the injuries, all that stuff, but it's like, sure, you did draft Jordan Hancock, so that is important.
Yeah.
But have you done enough was the biggest question.
Yeah, and then again, Sean, this was from the last time I talked to him about, we always had Poyer and Hyde, and even Taylor Rapp was like, look, there's never going to be another Poyer and Hyde the way they were.
Which is totally
But
fair.
he also said, I don't believe there's going to be another Taylor Rapp. Like, they have confidence in themselves to play. But the thing about Poyer and Hyde, they knew each other's movements. They knew everything about what the other was going to do. Taylor Rapp has not gotten that with anybody except really DeMar. I mean, he's had a lot of snaps with DeMar, but that is a big issue for this team. And you're right. We talked about it, like you said, all off season, how important Cole Bishop was for this year for what they had planned out. The other question is, at the end of camp, a lot of times, there's trades, there's players off of other rosters. Are there veterans out there they could make a move for, make a trade for? I think all that is open.
But by doing that, you are essentially giving up on Cole Bishop.
Yes.
So I understand totally.
Yeah.
But are you going to just take a pitch on another guy that's been drafted high?
I don't think it necessarily totally closes the door. If it's like a one-year rental for a guy that you would have confidence that could come in and help you, but it's not great. And look,
I hear that, but I also think how demoralizing that would be to a young player, that could ruin their confidence and their belief in themselves. I'm not saying, and look, if a guy's going to be the guy, I firmly believe he will be that person. Like, he will figure it out, all that stuff. But
I don't know. You're right. Maybe there isn't even that player. Maybe they believe if they have to wait or mix him in there, it's going to be DeMar who plays more.
Yeah.
And I know he missed that tackle badly. I mean, that play itself where Bishop got burned off the line, and then DeMar missed the tackle. Not great. And it really is. You can almost say, I forget how the wide receivers start the game. You know who the main players are. It's really the only fully open position, I would say, as a 1 of 22 starter on this team, is that second safety. And as we started it, kind of wild. When Sean said it, I was like, wow, that was blunt.
And that was blunt, and that to me was saying he's sending a message to his team as well.
Yep.
Of like, you still haven't, no one has earned it. No one has outright earned the job. I compared DeMar Hamlin to Levi Wallace.
Yeah.
Last video with Dan. Like, as Dan likes to say, the ugly penny.
It's bad penny.
But it's Dan.
It's very
We
Dan.
also got into an argument about elude versus elude. Like, eluding something versus alluding to something.
Right. He struggled with that.
I can't remember your name, but you had a great comment that said every episode of Buffalo Plus should include a grammar lesson.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Mostly for Dan.
Yes.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit, though, in terms of wide receiver you mentioned earlier, and the report out there that Gabe Davis could be coming to a visit to Buffalo.
It's Gabe Davis. He had a lot of time here, played a lot of snaps here, got paid a lot in Jacksonville. It did not work out. I don't think he's 100% healthy. And I think this is the time of the year where you're looking around. Like, players come in for workouts. He's not on a roster. I mean, I know he's talked publicly about picking the best spot. I mean, at this point, and you're who you are in this league.
Musical chairs.
Yeah, it's not like
personally.
you have your choice of any spot. And obviously, as he's with the Steelers for a workout today.
That is Tuesday, yes.
And then on Wednesday, he will be here in Orchard Park. It might be just a check-in, see how he is physically if they need a player. I don't really see this happening for them. I mean, you're talking about a guy who would be a 4th or 5th receiver, I would think, on this team. He has played on the outside. He could do a lot of that, but I think it's a bit of a step back if that's the route they go. I'm watching Tyrell Shavers out there again, and I'm like, I want to see this guy get more opportunities. I also wanted to mention, I know Keon made that big play in the scrimmage against the Bears over there. Today, over here, I'm back to pointing.
That's okay.
2 great plays. Got physical with Trey and sort of, I wouldn't say a push. It was more like hand play. Got away from him, made the catch on the sidelines, and then Josh went to him again pulled it in at the sidelines. 2 great plays by Keon today. And look, string those together. Earn more trust with your quarterback, and then he can, become that player for him.
And Josh was asked today after practice, like, what he has seen from Keon since, the spring to now. And he talked about the maturation of Keon. Like, he has been able to do more. And Joe Brady has a saying that, like, the reward for doing
I wrote it down.
well is doing more.
That's very close.
It's
exactly.
very close.
I actually, the reward for doing is the opportunity to do more.
Yes. AKA the curse of the competent, and if you work in a corporate job, but but yes, in terms of what he's seen from him, and I think that's important. Look, they drafted him in the second round with the first pick. Like, that was an important spot. They knew they were going to need a wide receiver, and you saw flashes last season. Then the injury happens. What can he do to assert himself as one of the top wide receivers on this team? So it was nice to see his day out there today, because confidence building matters, especially as we get even closer to the regular season.
A lot of passes to Elijah Moore again today. I think they want to see what he's got.
It's fair.
And then Josh, he's out there with Josh.
He did not play well in the preseason game.
No.
Curtis Samuel was out there.
Out there, he's limited again. It seems like it is progressing. I've heard people mention maybe Curtis Samuel could start on the IR. I don't think so, because he's progressing to this point injury-wise. It appears to be like he will be back, maybe even playing this weekend. I don't know what their plan is yet, but look, they got a lot of money invested in the guy and a lot of cap space invested into the guy, so we'll see how it plays out.
If they sign Gabe Davis, what does that say to you?
I would be stunned at the moment if they did it. But what it would say was, honestly, I think their concern would be they don't have depth at multiple positions. The one thing about Gabe, he did play in the slot, though they don't seem to need more slot guys.
Yeah.
And he did play on the outside. He had been, at times, a deep threat to Josh. Like, you remember that Steelers game. I mean, we think back, and obviously the Chiefs game. I would think it's one that Bean just says, let me take a look at him, put it in my back pocket. Let's see down the road if we need a guy. I don't think that is. Khalil Shakir progressing again. He's out there laughing, talking. It looks like he's still on his track to get himself ready to be a full go for the last little bit of practice before they get for the opening game.
Yeah, Sean McDermott said today there's been no setbacks for Khalil Shakir after that high ankle sprain, so that definitely something fans want to hear.
Yeah, and Max Hairston out here on the bike today, so seeing him, that seems still farther off.
Yeah, that's the general impression, I feel like.
That could be your IR spot to start the year. It would make total sense. The 4 games and then get a chance to bring him back.
Yeah, I could see that being the case. All right, anything else of note?
Hard Knocks, we're recording this on Tuesday, so we'll be on live for a little bit with you tonight. Post Hard Knocks, we'll see what they were all over the place again today.
Did you ask what happened in the episode? Or will it be a surprise?
I did not ask. The last time I knew a little bit about what was going to be in the episode. Okay. I think there's going to be obviously a lot from Chicago. I did talk to a couple of people from Hard Knocks. They were like, we finally settled in here a little bit in Orchard Park. It's been weird. They were in Pittsburgh, came here for a short period of time, spent 4 days plus in Chicago, and now they're back here. So they're getting their bearings straight. I said, are you a little buffaloed out? He goes, no, we haven't had that much actual time here. So the crew is here. They were all over the place. So we'll see what happens.
I'm genuinely curious to see how they cover that preseason game in Chicago. Like, what does it look like inside the building? Like, what is the response? No, like, not out of a judgment way, but just like what is that like, the fly on the wall when a performance like that happens? And obviously it's the preseason, so it is different. It doesn't count. But I'm curious about what it looks like.
It's wild, though, that last year they covered the Bears blowing out the Bills from the Bears side.
Yeah.
And the Bears, that ended up being the highlight of their season.
Truly.
So I'm not saying they're going to be bad this year, but they was excited. But to your point, now you're talking about the team that lost. And he was not happy about the standard and the way they played.
Highlights for that game.
And he did say, like, this is about individuals and matchups and one-on-one matchups. And that they didn't. They failed in a lot of places in that game. So forget the 38-0. That was just emblematic of what happened in the game.
Ass.
About that word. Emblematic.
I just said ass.
Well, that's another word.
That's,
yes,
same, but very different.
But it was, the score was bad, but the individual play was bad too.
Yeah. But wait, there's more. Not only was the score bad, but
Yep, everybody was bad.
Okay, all right. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Weigh in your comments on the safety situation, what you make of it. Who do you think should be the starter there? What do you think the Bills should do? I want to hear from you guys because I always love our comments for the most part.
Yep.
Sometimes they can be mean, but that's fine. You do you. All right, for Mike Catalana and Dan Fates with a Veteran Day Off, I am Jenna Cottrell. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. We will catch you next time on the Buffalo Plus channel, presented by Connors and Ferris.